Welcome back, everybody, to live stream number 3. In this one, we're going to cover the earnings of Unity Software, Paycom, and, of course, our favorite, Ionic. Welcome back, everybody. Let's dive right into it. The first stock on the list is, of course, Unity Software. Now, let's pause here for a story, okay? Back in the clown market, this stock was going absolutely ballistic, and I made fun of it because I thought it was a total turd. And I got laughed at and laughed at and laughed at as the stock went up and up and up and up and up. Go look at the old videos. Go look at the old videos. Go look at the comments. And then it utterly freaking collapsed and it's never recovered. And did I get credit for it? Of course not. Anyway, let's see what's up with old Unity. Unity, the leading platform to create and grow games, announced results. We believe the second quarter of 2025 will be remembered as an inflection point in the Unity story. That's a great way to start it. Where our commitment to accelerating product innovation and delivering for our customers translated to markedly better performance. Okay, so revenue was $441 million compared to $449 million. So their revenue dropped year over year. Creative Solutions revenue grew by like 2%. Growth Solutions revenue dropped by about $11 million. GAAP net loss, they had another loss. Have they ever had a freaking profit? Let's go look at Unity. Have they ever had a profit? Let's see. They've never posted a profit. Of course. Let's see. GAAP basic and diluted net loss per share was 26 cents. Adjusted EBITDA was $90 million. And net cash provided by operating activities was $133 million with free cash flow of $127. Have they even grown their free cash flow per share? Let's see. All right. I mean, I guess it's trending up. What about, let's look at their operating cash flow. The reason there's such a difference has got to be stock-based compensation. So, I mean, they've improved their operating cash flow. It is trending upwards over time, but they still have GAAP losses because of stock-based compensation. Let's see. Yeah. Wow. All right. But they improved their losses. Net loss margin was negative 24%. Liquidity. As of June 30th, 2025, our cash and cash equivalents was $1.7 billion and increased by $174 million. So their cash balance has gone up. We expect third quarter revenue of $440 million to $450 million. So if we compare that to the prior year, that would be a decline in revenue. So they're still guiding for a decline in revenue year over year. Maybe. They could possibly have some revenue growth year over year. It's possible on the high end, but not very impressive. All right, let's look at their balance sheet. $1.6 billion of cash, almost $600 million of accounts receivable. That's over $2 billion of very liquid capital versus current debts of $883 million, so not too bad there. For their long-term assets, they have a lot of goodwill. They have a lot of intangible assets and goodwill. And they have long-term convertible notes of $2.2 billion. Yeah, their short-term liquidity is fine. Their long-term balance sheet, they have a lot of debt, and they use that obviously to make acquisitions. But most of their balance sheet, the vast majority of their balance sheet is intangible assets. So you can't just look at price to books, bro. All right, they issued stock, obviously. Ugh. Okay, they increased R&D slightly. Sales and marketing is down a little bit. They had huge cuts to general and admin expenses. Total operating expenses, they were able to cut some, mostly because of general and admin. And they've tightened their loss from operations. Interest expense is up a little bit, but nothing crazy. Let's see. Yeah, it's like I said, stock-based compensation. $101 million. So, I mean, their operating profit would have been, they still would have had a slight operating loss, even without stock-based compensation. So, even if you exclude the stock-based compensation, they're not doing too hot. Let's see. Wow, very boring earnings. Okay, so crappy revenue growth, still losing money after all this time. And they're guiding for basically flat revenue year over year for the next quarter. I remember why I got made fun of so much for mocking this company. Wow. So that's Unity. The stock sold off a little bit. I mean, the stock's been an absolute freaking turd. Back in the day, they were posting some good revenue growth. That's why the stock was going ballistic. People were stuck at home. They wanted to freaking design games and all this nonsense. And then once the cloud market expired, everybody went back to work, and now their revenue's coming back to earth. So that's Unity. All right, let's check out Paycom. I keep hearing this hammering noise. Sounds like somebody's drilling. All right, so Paycom's up 8% after hours, so I guess they had a nice little earnings beat. It's up 41% on the year, and it's up 8% year to date. And over the past 5 years, it's down negative 26%. I seem to remember a guy that said VT was day trading that was investing in this company. And he got his cheeks clapped. So Paycom, my company actually uses this. I have a login for Paycom. Second quarter revenues are up 11% year over year. GAAP net income was $89 million, so they posted a profit with a 19% margin. EBITDA, non-GAAP, ignore that. Financial highlights. Total revenues presented a 10.5% increase in the same period year over year. Recurring and other revenues of $455 million increased 12%. Recurring revenues are good and constituted 94% of revenues. Their earnings per share grew by 31%. That's pretty solid. Cash and cash equivalents were $500 million on their balance sheet. Total debt was zero. Okay. Financial outlook. Paycom provides the following expected financial guidance for the year ended December 31st, 2025. Total revenue from basically $2 billion with year-over-year growth of approximately 9% at the midpoint. Recurring revenue growth of 10%. Interest on funds held for clients of approximately $113 million. Okay, I mean, that's okay growth. I mean, nothing insane, but decent growth. Okay, so they don't have many short-term debts. Yeah, they're right. They don't have any long-term debt. They don't have any long-term debt? Okay, wow. I mean, it's okay balance sheet. They got plenty of cash. Nothing crazy on here. Long-term deferred contract costs, $822 million. Let's go look at their statement of cash flows. Okay, so operating cash flow grew by about $25 million for an operating cash flow growth rate of 9%. I mean, that's okay. Investments from funds held for clients. I like how they just take client money and farm interest from it. Okay. They have a very slight dividend. They paid $42 million in dividends. Wow. No repurchases of common stock in the last 6 months. Okay. All right. Interesting. So nothing crazy there. I mean, decent revenue growth. They're guiding for decent revenue growth. They're turning a profit. They grew earnings per share by a decent amount. Most of their revenue is recurring revenue. I mean, not the worst company in the world, but not the high-flying beast that everybody was claiming it was going to freaking be. Okay. All right. So that was Paycom. And then last but not least, we have Ionic. Ionic rhymes with Sonic. Down 5%. Look at this. Look at this. Trailing revenue of $43 billion with negative net income of negative $324 million. God, what a freaking stinking turd. And it's $11 billion market cap. Oh my God. Look at this stupid nonsense. Quantum computers. Whoa. It's a freaking meme stock. All right. Second quarter results for Ionic. They beat top-end revenue guidance by 15%. They announced a $1 billion proposed acquisition of Oxford Ionics, enhanced scalable quantum computing breakthroughs. Oh, completed acquisition of LightSync and Acapella, substantially accelerating both quantum computing and quantum network. Yeah, we're going to have our quantum computer in 2055. I'm bullish, bro. They appointed CEO Niccolò De Masi as the next chairman of the board, attracted key talent, achieved 20x speed up in quantum accelerated drug development with AstraZeneca, AWS, and NVIDIA. Oh my God, NVIDIA! And they have cash equivalents, and investments of $1.6 billion after closing a $1 billion equity offering. Shocker. The stock ran up on a bunch of clown news and they issued stock. I'm blown away. Okay, they beat top-end guidance for Q, but what was the actual revenue? Ionic recognized revenue of $20 million. What is the price to sales of this company? Hold on a minute. 212. It went up, bro. God, what a freaking turd. Okay. Yeah, they raised a bunch of freaking cash. Full year, they expect revenue between $82 million to $100 million, with between $25 million to $29 million in the third quarter. What a freaking piece of garbage. So their loss from operations was $160 million on $20 million of revenue. You morons kept this company alive. Oh, let's bid up the stock price so they can issue a bunch of stock. What a freaking turn. Let's look at the statement of cash flows. So in the last 6 months, they burned $85 million of cash from operations. And they were able to raise $358 million of cash from issuing stock because of you morons. So basically, you just kept this company alive for a couple more years, bidding up the stock price. Good job. What a freaking turd. All right. Oh, we got 12 viewers. This is like the weakest live stream I've ever had in my life. The Dong Trifecta. Unity bought a SPAC called Iron Source, put Unity into debt. The SPAC was arranged by private equity. Yeah, Unity went to absolute freaking crap. AMD tanked today, but it's still the hedge if you miss the NVIDIA gravy train. All right, well, thank you for tuning in. I may or may not do a stock mo video. I probably won't because I'm kind of tired. I need a freaking break. But thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, check out all my services in the pinned comment below, and you guys have a wonderful night.